Jason's Academy, Social Science, Class 7th, History. Hello students. Today we are going to start History, Lesson 9, Religious Belief. First, let's understand the meaning of religious belief. Religion is a system of beliefs and practices by means of which a group of people struggle with the ultimate problem of human life. There are many new trends introduced in medieval period in the field of beliefs, rituals, pilgrimage and cultures. This period also saw the rise of many devotional movements, philosophies and tantris. Here the meaning of tantrism is knowledge based on certain mantras, yogic mudras, magical figures, etc. Due to intense devotion towards God, a new wave of religious movement started in the society in the form of Bhakti and Sufi movement. Let's first see the first topic of this chapter, which is the Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement in Hinduism refers to ideas and engagement that emerged in the medieval era on love and devotion to religious concepts built around one or more gods and goddesses. Bhakti movement preached against the caste system using the local languages so that the message reached the masses. The leader of this Hindu and revivalist movement was Shankaracharya, a great thinker and a distinguished philosopher. And this movement was propounded by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Namdev, Tukaram, Jaidev. The movement's major achievement was its abolition of idol worship. Beside this, there were two sects of people who worshipped Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu and were known as. First is Nayanas. The Nayanas were a group of 63 saints living in Tamil Nadu during the 6th to 8th centuries CE who were devoted to the Hindu god Shiva. Along with second was Alvars. The Alvars were contemporaries who were devoted to Vishnu. They influenced the Bhakti movement in early medieval South India. The wave of Bhakti movement started from South India by Alvars, the devotees of Lord Vishnu, and Nayanars, devotees of Shiva. They travelled to various places singing hymns in Tamil Nadu in praise of their gods. Later, many temples were built that became the sacred places for pilgrimage. Shankaracharya, Ramanuj, Namdev, Vallabhacharya, Mirabai, etc. are famous Bhakti Sant. Shankaracharya was born around 788 AD in Kerala. He preached that knowledge is necessary for the worship of God and called it as Gyan Marg. He gave the concept of Advait, which means God is unique. He established four maths in Hindu culture that are Jyotira Math at Badrinath in the north, Shraddha Pit at Dwarka in the west, Govardhan Math at Puri in the east, Sringeri Math in the south. Ramanuj. Ramanuj was born around 1017 AD at Tirupati. He preached the Bhakti Marg and regarded that all humans are equal. Every man could get salvation by true worship of God. Mirabai. Mirabai was a strong devotee of Lord Krishna. She composed devotional songs which are now called as Mira's Bhajan. Surdas. Surdas was a devotee of Krishna. He had written various dohas and poems which are compiled in Sursagar. Tulsidas was a devotee of Lord Ram and he wrote the Ramcharitmanas. Let's see the feature of Bhakti. Main features of the Bhakti movement are unity of God or one God, though known by different names. bhakti, intense love and devotion, the only way of salvation. Repetition of the true name, self surrender, condemnation of rituals, ceremonies, and blind faith, rejection of idol worship by many sant, open mindfulness about deciding religious matters, no distinction of different caste, higher or low, need a guru for guidance advocated by some, preachings through local or regional languages, and traveling from place to place for spreading the religious message. Second topic of this chapter is the Sufi movement. A number of Sufi Sant came to India under Turkish rule. The Sufi movement was a socio-religious movement of 14th to 16th century. The exponents of this movement were unorthodox Muslim Sant who had a deep study of Vedantic philosophy and Buddhism of India. The Sufi movement, therefore, was the result of the Hindu influence on Islam. Sufism or Sufi movement is a common term given to the Islamic followers. They were inspired by teachings of Quran. The message given was that one can become united with God through prayer and meditation. The teacher was called Pir and had several students called as murids. A visit to Mecca, the birthplace Prophet Muhammad at least once during a Muslim's lifetime is known as Hajj. Now let's see that who were the Sufi Sant. The Sufi Sants were equally respected by Hindu and Muslim. Some famous Sufi Sant were Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, who came to India in 1192 AD, lived in Ajmer. His popularity spread far off. His mausoleum or dargah at Ajmer is a place of pilgrimage. Nizamuddin Aulia lived in Delhi under the rule of Alauddin Khilji. His dargah is in Delhi. Sheikh Salim Chishti, who lived in Agra. His dargah is in Fatehpur Sikri. Akbar was blessed with a son due to his blessings. Now, let's see the features of Sufism. It brought about many changes in the religious field. It gave rise to actions and reactions. The Sufi Sant gave main importance to Tawbah, which means repentance, and Tawakkul, which means trust or faith in God. They followed the teachings of Prophet Muhammad in Hadith, saying of Prophet Muhammad, and in Quran. They did not believe upon feasts and rituals. Devotional music is one way to go closer to God or Allah in the form of qawwalis. Last topic of this chapter is Kabir. Kabir occupies an important place as Bhakti reformer of India. It is considered that he was born at the end of 14th century in a Brahmin family, but brought up by a Muslim family of Julahas or weavers near Varanasi. Kabir followed the social philosophy of his guru Sant Ramanand. He opposed the evil practices in both Hinduism and Islam. Therefore, he had followers of both the religions. He preached his thoughts in beautiful couplets called dohas and in the form of pad. He had his teachings. According to Kabir, Ram and Rahim both are two different names of the same Lord. To reach to God, a guru is necessary. No discrimination should be made on the basis of caste, creed, color, or gender. No customs or rituals to be followed. So, this period saw the rise of devotional movements like Bhakti and Sufi movement. It gave rise to new religious beliefs. So, students, here we have completed this chapter. I hope all of you have understood. Thank you.